It's the Brian Lehrer Show on WNYC. I'm Bridget Bergen, filling in for Brian. To end the show today, let's talk about how you're celebrating, or maybe surviving, this record-hot long weekend. Saturday is July 4th, and not only is it Independence Day, but it's the country's 250th anniversary. Happy birthday, America. There are plenty of events going on to celebrate this weekend, so many that we might need some guidance to navigate through them. And we are in luck because I'm joined by Hannah Frishberg, culture reporter at Gothamist and WNYC. Hey, Hannah, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Listeners, we want to hear what you're getting up to this weekend. Are you attending an event, or are you creating your own fun? What are your 4th of July traditions? Are you attending the famous Coney Island hot dog eating contest, or maybe you're taking a dip in one of the city's recently opened pools with extended hours because it's so hot out? And how will you be staying cool and safe during your festivities? Call or text us. The number's 212-433-WNYC. That's 212-433-9692. Okay, Hannah, you wrote about the fleet of ships that are descending on New York's waters. We're talking about the big old-fashioned looking ships with white sails that look straight out of a pirate movie. Can you explain why these ships are all appearing?
Universal Fellowship, nautical celebration. It's, a bunch of international ships coming together in unity. Think of it like the World Cup, but on the water. And I guess not in competition. But we did this for the bicentennial, for the Lady of Liberty's centennial in '86. It's just a tradition to show good faith in international relations.
And this is not the first time the boats. Are these the same boats that usually come, or we have seen come around Memorial Day? I think there was one here last Memorial Day, one of the tall ships.
Most members of the public have not seen all of these ships. I believe there's about 150 in total. The Hudson is also about to be lined with naval vessels. It's going to be epic. I personally have lived in New York my whole life, and I don't think I've seen anything like this. It's like they're saying it's the biggest naval conglomeration to ever happen, which is an insane thing to prove.
Wow.
Because we've been boating since time immemorial as a peoples, but it's going to be huge.
So these boats are also going to be sticking around after the festivities on the 4th. Is that right?
Yes, after they parade down the East River tomorrow, and then on the 4th down the Hudson, that's the big one, they will be docked around the boroughs, and they will be available for public touring. But you should register on sailforth.com.
Okay, so if you're interested in checking out the tall ships, you can go to the East River tomorrow, the Hudson on the 4th of July, and if you want to actually tour them, I guess, or people are allowed on the actual boats?
Yeah, you can go walk around inside.
How cool.
For free.
But you got to register. So
you should register.
And what's the website again?
Sailforth. That's the number 4.com.
Sailforth. That makes sense. Okay, so this weekend is the hottest this city's seen since 2010. I almost feel bad talking about it because I feel like we've been talking about the heat now nonstop. If you're outside in the heat, get a drink of water. We're thinking of you. How can New Yorkers still celebrate outdoor festivities and stay safe?
Well, the pools have extended hours. It's always fun to go hole up in a theater. If you go to Coney, find some shade. But there's cooling centers across the city for if you are feeling unwell. The libraries also have extended hours.
That's great. Listeners, we are interested in what you're up to this weekend. How are you going to celebrate the 4th of July? What are some of your traditions? How are you going to stay cool? Are you going to go to a movie? Are you going to go to a show? Call or text us. The number is 212-433-9692. That's 212-433-9692. So let's talk about some ways if people want to stay indoors and avoid the heat. What are some of the activities people can participate in that let them stay in the air conditioning?
South Street Seaport has a great historic exhibit happening. Powerhouse Arts in Gowanus has an exhibit happening. All the museums in this town are amazing and generally pretty heavily subsidized. So recommend those if you want to go hole up indoors, learn about some art, and stay cool.
We have a couple callers with some events coming up. Let's go to Lori in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, the mayor of Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. Is that right, Lori?
It is. Hi, how are you?
We're great. So what's going on there?
So we have an amazing historic weekend here in Atlantic Highlands. Our fire department has our annual Firemen's Fair, which is taking place tonight through Saturday, but tonight's our amazing fireworks. But I've just been tracking the Sailforth 250 app, and we know that I've already seen tall ships in our harbor. So if you come to Atlantic Highlands, you can get here on the Sea Streak from downtown Manhattan and Midtown Manhattan, or you can drive over here. You'll get the amazing view of the city, the fireworks, and the tall ships, and you don't have to pay a dime for it.
That's great. I will note, as a frequent ferry rider myself, Lori, that there is some serious disruption to the ferry schedules, particularly on the 4th and potentially other parts of the weekend. But folks who are going out should check those ferry schedules because all of these boats will be in our harbor and on our rivers. Some of our ferries will not. So check that out. Hopefully you have another way of getting to some of these locations. Let's go to Janet in Crown Heights. Janet, you're on WNYC.
Yes, good morning. The International African Arts Festival has a new location. It's at Lincoln Park in Brooklyn, and it's its 55th year, and it starts on Friday, and it goes until Sunday. So if you want to get some real African culture, and it's open to everybody, please come down to Lincoln Park in Brooklyn for the 55th International Arts Festival.
Good plug, Janet. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. Hannah, a version of the Declaration of Independence written by Thomas Jefferson will be available for view at the New York Public Library. Are there other U.S. history-based events that people can attend if that's the mood they're in for this weekend?
Yes, Sailforth has collaborated with the South Street Seaport Museum, and they have a bunch of really cool old documents on display there.
And remind us where that the location of Sailforth, where their exhibit is?
South Street Seaport Museum.
Okay, and I should note that there's going to be more on that exhibit during the upcoming episode of All of It. They're going to talk a little bit more about the South Street Seaport exhibit today. We have a listener who texted, "My girlfriend and I celebrate our anniversary on July 4th. This year we got tickets to a fireworks cruise on the Hudson River." So a pretty lovely way to celebrate an anniversary. So, of course, when we think of July 4th, we have to think about the fireworks show, but it sounds like it's a little bit different this year. The Macy's fireworks will be firing up both the East River and Hudson River. So where can people see it? Do you need tickets to that, or are there other fireworks shows that people can attend?
Yeah, it's going to be epic. Yeah, I mean, there's always the fight over, like, why is it in the Hudson? It should be in the East River. But this year, they've put that to rest by just having it on both. I mean, honestly, you're going to be able to see it from anywhere in downtown not downtown Brooklyn, downtown Manhattan. The skies are free. Yes, there is a ticketed section, but the lottery is, I think, already closed. Just look up and find a friend with a roof in the vicinity.
Yeah, finding those friends with rooftops are always key at this time of year. I used to like to go on my fire escape when I was on the Lower East Side. That was a great place to see them. That's, of course, when they had the fireworks on the East River. I was not so lucky when they were on the Hudson River. Another listener texted, "We're going to one of our favorite museums, Museum of the City of New York. It's open on the 4th. Talk about relevant Independence Day art and artifacts. Next day, we'll go check out some of the tall ships where they are docked. Happy 4th of July." Thank you so much from that listener. I also mentioned that there's a ball drop in Times Square, which is, of course, something we think about associated with New Year's Eve, but there's one for the 4th of July. This is a new tradition. What's that event going to look like without its sort of the midnight countdown?
Disorienting. Also, it's dropping 8 times, once for every time zone in America, starting at 10 a.m. and ending with our time zone at 11:59 p.m. So many ball drops, and it's going to have different lighting each time, although it will be the same ball.
Oh, wow. So they're going to drop it and bring it back up and then drop it again.
Yes, which for something that is a symbol of time's passage is really going to be very disorienting.
Oh, my goodness. Well, talk about somewhat disorienting. The rumors are swirling that there will be a big event at Madison Square Garden this weekend that the possibility of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting married there. According to the New York Times, a permit was filed with New York City to close the streets around Madison Square Garden from July 2nd to midday July 4th for, quote, the events. And Amtrak police officers were warned about the wedding this weekend. Cautious New Yorkers will probably want to stay away from that area just to avoid maybe some of the very excited Swifties and possible wedding attendees who might be swarming the event. But, what do you sense? Do you sense the rumors are true? Do you think people should avoid the area?
I think it's happening. I think she's building a castle in there. And yeah, definitely avoid the area. I'm personally going upstate.
Very smart. Another listener texts, I'll be seeing Jaws at Nighthawk's Prospect Park location, at Nighthawk Cinema, of course that is, which is playing Saturday and Sunday. So that's a way to both stay cool. And Jaws is a movie that invokes the 4th of July, as I recall. One of the key scenes is, related to the 4th of July. Hannah, any other events you want to shout out? What do you recommend people get up to this weekend if they have to stay here and, aren't escaping the city?
All right. It is mostly outside, but there's an event. I just wrote about it for Gothamist.com. It's called Summer of Lud. It is an anti-big tech event, but mostly it's just kind of a joyous reason to gather in public. It's run by a bunch of really hopeful, excitable youth, and I went to an event the other day, and it was delightful and very sweet. Summer of Lud.
Summer of Lud. Lud, L-U-D.
L-U-D-D, like the Luddites.
There we go. Okay. And any other counter programming, but for people who still want to have fun this long weekend?
There's an event by New Fear City for anyone who likes wrestling and isn't scared of blood. But otherwise, I think it's mostly the big stuff.
Wow. Well, we're going to leave it there. We want everyone to stay cool. Have a great 4th of July. My guest was Hannah Frishberg, culture editor at Gothamist and WNYC. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope wherever you're going, it will be cooler than it is here in the city. The Brian Lehrer Show's producers are Lisa Allison, Mary Croak, Amina Serna, Carl Boiserand, and Esperanza Rosenbaum. We had help today from Raphael Helfand, and our intern this summer is Mariana Schultz. Megan Ryan is the head of live radio. Matt Mirando and Milton Ruiz are at the studio controls. I'm Bridget Bergen. This is it for the Brian Lehrer Show today. Stay tuned for all of it. Have a great 4th of July, everybody. Stay cool. Stay safe.
WNYC's journalism and storytelling is heard by millions of passionate listeners. Sponsors of our programming gain our listeners' attention and their respect. Learn about how your organization can support WNYC and WNYC Studios at sponsorship.wnyc.org.
The United States is about to mark its 250th anniversary.
And so on the Global Story podcast from the BBC, we're telling surprising tales of American influence on the world stage and in ordinary people's lives all across the globe.
We have this ability to export our story, and a lot of people have bought it.
I feel like the American dream is alive but not well.
From the BBC, it's the United States at 250.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube.